Hi, Nature's Balance family. This is Janine Jazwiak from Nature's Balance again here to talk to you a little bit about summer. Beautiful day, flowers blooming, but it's hot. Just came back from a walk in the woods near our house, and I'm coming back to hydrate with some water. That's the first thing people think of is hydration, water. Well, what I have in this little bottle is actually stacked. I like to do a number of things all at one time. I like to multitask, and I like to stack one thing on top of another that will accentuate and that will help my health. So hydration, sometimes water is just not enough to help you hydrate completely in this hot summer with the hot weather, the activities, you're sweating, and you're burning calories and burning nutrients. So it's often not enough. So what I do is I actually, in this little bottle I have here, I have two things. I have these Cocoa Hydrate pineapple flavor from Purium, and I have Kion Aminos in here. So let's talk about that for a minute. The reason why did I start using these two things together? Well, one thing I noticed is that when I would be out working in the yard, exercising, whatever, playing, and I would come in after a long day and I would notice that I was, I would be fine that day and I was hydrating. I drink about a gallon of water a day. But then what would happen is the next morning I'd wake up with a headache. Like, okay, this is a problem. So then I started thinking about why that might be. And so then that's when I came upon this combination of things. Okay, so what is this? So this guy, the Cocoa Hydrate, is from coconut, and it's it's electrolytes. It provides with electrolytes. So what are electrolytes? People throw the word term around electrolyte all the time, and according to the definition, it's a substance that breaks up into ions, which are particles of electrical charges, when it's dissolved in water or body fluids. So basically, electrolytes provide electricity. So electrolytes are the same thing that are in batteries. And we, as I keep telling everybody, our cells are like batteries. And when we move, we charge those batteries. And when we're not moving, those batteries they lose their charge. So what this does is actually provide the electrolytes, the electricity for our body to run smoothly. So we're, like I said, we're electrical beings. And, think about it, we do EEGs to see our brain's electrical activity. We do EKGs to get our heart activity. So that shows that we are electrical beings. And when we're sweating, when we are sick, when we have diarrhea, or illness, or we're working really hard, we lose these electrolytes. So we have to replenish them. So that was one of the problems, was the fact that I was not regaining those electrolytes that I needed in order to replenish. And so this stuff here, because it's made from coconut, number one, it's pineapple. It tastes really good. It provides electrolytes and antioxidants also. So that's really cool. So it helps with hydration. It helps with electrolyte replacement. It helps with your inflammatory response. So it gets you a healthy inflammatory response rather than going overboard or underboard. And it even helps with joints. So that's kind of cool. Okay. And it tastes good too. So the next thing I do is I add this Kion Essential EAAs, essential amino acids. So what does exactly that mean? Okay. Well, amino acids are the building blocks of our body. And I know you've heard that a lot. Like, okay, so what does that exactly mean? So we're made up of proteins. Okay, everything. Our nails, our hair, our skin, our organs, our glands, everything is made up of protein. And the amino acids are the building blocks of that protein. So when you think about a Lego set, you got all the Lego pieces, and you may want to put them together to build a spaceship. So the pieces are the amino acids, and there's 20 amino acids. 9 of them are essential. And essential means we have to get them through food. We cannot make them ourselves. The other ones we can make. So we got these 9 amino acids that we have to get through food. Those are what they call essential amino acids. And so what happens is and we get those other amino acids and the essential amino acids, all 20 of them, through the eating of protein. So when we eat carbs and fats, what happens is they are used for fuel right away. So they're used to run our body. And then when we eat protein, like animal products, fish, chicken, beef, we actually get all the essential, or all the amino acids. So, and then the 9 essential amino acids are actually even more special, because, so as I said, the amino acids are building blocks of our bodies, but the essential amino acids actually signal the building and repair of our body. So if you think about it, they're not just the bricks, or they're not just the Lego pieces. They're actually in the example of the Legos, they're not just the Legos. They're actually the Legos. They're actually the person who's going to put them together, and they're actually the design all in one. So they're very, very powerful, and they do a lot of very important things. And there's a couple studies I'm going to mention later on that will talk to you about why they're so important, and really to really drive home what this all means to you and your body. So the couple things you got to remember is, when we get older, it takes more for us to actually pull out and make the proteins in our body. So make muscles, make hair, make nails. It takes more than what we were eating before. So, and the thing is, people, when I say older, you think, oh, 60, 70. No, 30. It's actually 30. 30 things, at the age of 30, things start to go downhill. So what that means is, if it took you, let's just throw out numbers. I'm going to broad brush. If it took you 100 grams of protein in order to operate your body and to rebuild and repair it prior to 30, maybe when you hit 35, it maybe take you 125 grams of protein. And as you get older, it gets worse and worse. So you have to eat actually more, because you're getting less from what you're eating. So I'm working with people for 20 years, and in 20 years, and I've looked at many, many diets. And what I find is that people do not get enough protein, even in the best of times. So the best of times, when everything's going well and they're under 30, they fall short of what they're supposed to get. They're eating our diet in general, and our particular, our food choices are really geared towards fats and carbs. So we really don't get a lot of protein. It's not, despite what we may think. They'll say like 9 grams of protein in a particular product, and 9 grams is nothing when you're supposed to get 1 gram for every pound of lean body mass you have on your body. So in the best of times, we don't get it. And then when we get over 30, we actually have to eat more than what we were doing when we were under 30. So we are certainly not getting enough of it at all. And it gets harder and harder. Our digestive system gets also a little weaker, and we actually have a harder time breaking the food down. So it's a tough road. So that's why I actually use these essential amino acids. And let's talk a little bit more about that. So I use the essential amino acids because it's providing me with those building blocks, as well as the mortar and the signaling to help to rebuild and repair. So, and before we go a little bit more into the studies about these amino acids, I want to talk to you about vegetarian. Now, vegetarians, to our vegetarian friends, it takes a lot to get what you need when you're a vegetarian in terms of amino acids, because protein, meat, animal protein is the only way you can get complete protein, meaning all 20 amino acids. When you eat vegetables, they're incomplete proteins. Plants are incomplete proteins. And when you are eating incomplete proteins, you have to figure out like what you're eating and then what you're missing, and then supplement with that, either through supplementation, or you do food combining. Like, for example, you do rice and beans, and that will combine that will give you a whole 20 amino acids. So it's really, really tough to get what you need when you're a vegetarian. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be a vegetarian, but you really have to work at it, because I see a lot of people come into the office and they're very deplete, and they're very low energy and what we call low chi, because of the fact they're not getting these amino acids. So I use the Kion essential amino acids to supplement, because it is, again, it provides the building blocks as well as the signaling, and it provides everything I need. And it's a special. There's lots of amino acids out there, and you can buy any of them. They're fine probably, but this is particularly special because it's a leucine enhanced set of amino acids. And what does that mean? So there's branch chain amino acids, which is a subset of the amino acids. And branch chains are leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And when most of our muscle, 1/3 of our muscle protein is, again, I'm saying protein, muscle protein, because our muscles are protein, is made up of these branch chain amino acids. So, so it's very important to get more of those, and especially leucine. So that's really the one that really stimulates the growth of muscle. So it's really, really powerful for muscle building. And I want to make sure that I can get off the toilet when I'm until the day I die. So therefore I want to make sure I have muscles in my body. So a couple studies that were done. So there was a study done by NASA, and let me make sure we got the facts straight here. Okay, so astronauts go in space, and they are in space. They have no gravity pulling down on them, so they lose muscle mass. They lose strength up in space. So NASA was trying to figure out, like, okay, well, can I possibly use essential amino acids in order to complement and give so that they would not lose this muscle? And so what they did was they took and put people on a 28-day bed rest. So they had to lay in bed for 28 days, and they were given three meals a day, just average meals a day. And they were also given 3 servings of a formula like this, which is leucine enhanced, 6 times per day. So they were given 3 servings, 6 times per day, so 18 servings of something like this. After 28 days, they found out that there was no muscle loss. And in fact, there was a slight increase. Now that is incredible, considering that in 2016, there was a study of young men who spent a week in bed, and they lost 3.1 pounds of muscle in just 1 week. So that is pretty incredible. After 28 days to lose nothing. Now, I'm over 60, and there was a study done, a second study was done of women over 60 years old. And they did body weight training. They didn't lift with weights. They just did regular body weight training 3 times per week. They were given 3 servings, the equivalent of 3 servings of these Kion aminos per day. And in 3 months' time, they put on an average of 10 pounds of lean muscle. Now that is amazing. Okay. So people come to me, I can't build muscle. I'm too old. That is not true. You are not fueling. My first question is, well, what are you fueling yourself with? And that is more the problem, is the fueling. So, and just to put a little things in perspective, is after the age of 40, you lose 8% of strength and 2 to 3% of muscle mass each year. So you really have to be, number one, stressing your muscles, and you also need to be fueling your body properly in order to rebuild your muscles, as well as anything else in your body. Again, everything is a protein. Everything is made of these essential amino acids. Not essential amino acids, the amino acids. Everything is made up of amino acids, and you need to be able to build. So you need to give it the raw ingredients, which are the amino acids, and you need to make sure you're giving yourself enough of them. Now, the good part about this is, again, there's no digestion involved. When you eat meat, you're going to get the amino acids, but you have to break it down. And there's a whole lot of problems with, as we get older, we can't break the food down as well as we could before. And as I said before, you don't absorb it as easily. So anyways, that's why I use this. And I use this, number one, after a workout. I use that before a workout. I also use this, like if I'm out all day exercising or working in the yard or whatever, I'm gonna use this. I supplement this as much as possible, and then I also add these electrolytes. So I lift weights regularly, as some of you know, and I was curious, like, how am I doing? Am I fueling my body enough? Am I making enough protein to build muscle? And what I found was that I did a test. I went off and did a test a couple weeks ago. And what we found was, I was anywhere from 104 to 113% of the average woman my age in terms of muscle mass. So they measure your arms, your legs, your torso. And so on overall average, 109% over and above what other women my age would normally have. So clearly what I'm doing is paying off. What I'm doing is the right thing. I'm exercising, I'm stressing my muscles, as well as I'm, fueling properly in order to give it the fuel in order to build. Because, you could stress your muscles all you want, but if you're not fueling your body properly, nothing's going to happen. And that's the other problem that I see when people come into my office and they say, well, how am I going to, how do I build muscle? And how do I lose weight? Well, number one, you have to build muscle in order to lose weight, because muscle is very, very expensive and it uses a lot of calories. So you burn more calories when you have more muscle in your body. So that's the first thing. In order to lose weight, build muscle, and you will look thinner right away. So that is why I use these two products. And I hope you found this interesting. I appreciate you listening to this video. And if you would like to purchase either one of these products, you can go to my website and purchase it right off the website, and you'll actually get a discount. So there is a links below this video that will give you the link right to be able to buy these products. Thank you so much. And you have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your summer.